Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. A lot of them. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 4. I almost got that backwards. Book of the Stranger.
Season 4, Episode 6.
Yes, totally. Sure. I'm your host.
Stranger of the book.
I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is the overly excited Cleo.
God forbid he finishes his goddamn intro.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Blame it.
Blaming it. John, too, is here.
Good, she's starting the addiction.
Great.
Blame Dom.
I'm not addicted. You're addicted. Oh!
Especially you, Nappa. I'm sorry.
So,
This was a very good episode.
how about that daddy?
Danny? Oh my god. I secretly wanted her to start stabbing people, but this was so much better than that.
There are
You
no
didn't
weapons.
secretly want her to do anything. You outwardly said, I want her to start stabbing people.
There are no weapons allowed in Weiss Dothrak.
Well, what's his name had a weapon?
If they caught him with it, they would have done terrible things to him.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, terrible things to him.
Yeah. But what she did was so much more her style.
Burn everything.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to you guys, knowing full well you're not going to agree with me, but I'm going to give it a shot because I don't want to kill you, but I do.
Really want to kill you. I don't want you to die.
No, I don't. You don't have to die, is what it was.
Oh yeah.
Not that she didn't really care if they did or not.
No.
Yeah.
Well, so Daenerys Stormborn. Well, let's say Daenerys Targaryen, the Unburnt, Mother of Dragons, Queen of Meereen, the Stormborn, and now Queen of the Dothraki. Let's just add more titles to the titles.
More titles.
By the time she takes the Iron Throne, there's going to be a paragraph for her name.
Yeah, and I mean, you hear when they talk about the king on the Iron Throne now, and you talk about Tom, and he's got a lot of things before his name too. So it's like she's gonna have like triple that.
And here's a fun thing for the show versus book. They cut bit of the titles out.
How much more is there?
Let's see. All hail Robert Baratheon, first of his name, King of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, Protector of the Realm, on the Iron Throne. I don't even remember all of it. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I think it was interesting that George R.R. Martin said that, Dany being immune to fire is supposed to be a one-time thing.
Really?
No, it's just, actually her superpower.
When did he say that?
When he wrote the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Apparently it was only, a one-shot deal, and that was supposed to be it, but I guess they were like, meh.
Fire cannot kill a dragon.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
We mean a one-shot... No. Okay. She burned herself in the end of book 1, just like the show. That was, practically taken from the pages of the book right there.
Yeah.
Okay? In the end, when the Sons of the Harpy try to kill her in Meereen, she's sitting there next to her husband, who's trying to, here, eat these candied locusts that are actually poisoned. Here, eat them. She's like, no. Dragon attacks, causes some crazy shit. She dives into the ring, grabs a whip, and she stands in a blast of his fire. She survives fire more than once.
Oh, so I don't know what the fuck he was talking about.
I don't think he knows what the fuck he's talking about anymore.
What he's talking about. That's good. Okay, sorry, never mind.
Because I'm going with you, wow, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, she did do a whole blood magic thing, and then all of a sudden I'm remembering, taking a blast of dragon fire to the face.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, hey, this worked out to her advantage.
Like that we're starting with the end of the episode.
I mean, we're starting with one of the very interesting things about this episode. I mean, it's our freaking show. We can start wherever we want.
You're damn right, and that's why I started there.
Damn right.
I don't know why I pointed it out.
This is our show with blackjack and hookers.
You really can't drink Monster.
So, chat's going on.
Cutting you off.
We have Sally Noble and Darius Mina in chat saying that winter is coming, pretty much. That the Boltons, Freys, and Lannisters are about to feel the sting of winter, which...
Any day now for the last 6 years. Any day now.
Just waiting for it.
Just waiting for it.
Yeah.
I mean... Okay, so Jon and Sansa hug it out.
Finally, something good happened to a Stark.
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
Two Starks.
It's like the first positive thing in either of their lives in a long time.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because they didn't really like each other when.
No, because
they didn't really get along.
Before they left Winterfell, Sansa was a little bitch.
Yes, she was.
She knows it. She's grown so much. She knows it. She's like,
Oh.
sorry, I was such a little shit.
I'm trying to remember who it was. Like when we first started watching the show, it was like, oh god, Sansa's such a little twat. I hope she deserves everything that's coming to her. And then as the seasons go on, they're like, all right, no, I take it back. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Stop.
I mean, from the get-go, I was always a very strong defender of Sansa.
I think that was your wife.
It may have been. I don't know.
Oh, I cannot probably agree. This is probably Mickey. But I've always defended Sansa.
I liked her first. Before everything.
I liked her before it was cool.
You know, as she said, I was awful. I was terrible. Well, you kind of were.
Yeah, and Jon was like, no.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
But I guess he caught her up on the whole, like, yeah, I died, came back to life, been leader of the Night's Watch for a while.
And she's just...
Tea?
It's like, it was good tea. Or, no, it was good soup.
Soup, yeah, it was soup.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it's good soup. Probably the first soup you've had in a while. Where was I going? I don't know. Completely gone.
Whatever's planning up between them, I suppose.
You're,
yeah.
Gonna try to save Rickon.
They're gonna try to save Rickon and kill Ramsay and take back Winterfell. They're a little outnumbered.
A lot outnumbered.
I mean, what did they say?
5,000.
5,000 to 2,000?
To 2,000. Not enough.
And then that's, what Ramsay had at Winterfell. He's probably got the Karstarks and the Umbers on his side. They're decent.
Yeah.
But I mean, and see, it's Sansa brings up the point. Go. You're a Stark. Well, you're a bastard technically. You're not a Stark. You're a Snow. You go be like, hey, support me. Let's retake Winterfell for the North for the Starks, and everybody's just gonna be like, yeah,
but if we're talking about bastards, Ramsay's a bastard too.
True. But as far as legality goes,
he was given the Bolton name.
He was legally given the name.
Yeah, so...
Oh, no, I guess that's true. You're right.
Jon wasn't.
But then again, I feel like if he had Sansa with him, and they knew that Rickon was there, they'd be like, the North remembers! And, that shit.
Yeah, we're taking Winterfell back. For Rickon. Or Bran, if he ever comes back.
It's all Rickons.
Bran's got a whole different path he's got to go down first, so...
Seemingly.
He has to climb back over the wall with no legs.
But I'm just kind of figuring out what their options are. I mean, my only thought was they have to team up with Littlefinger and the Vale's forces.
Yeah.
That could play out badly.
I hate to admit it.
That could play out really badly.
It's gonna play out really badly because Sansa's gonna see Littlefinger and she's gonna be like, you little shit!
Well, deservedly so.
I mean, if you watch the promo for next week, there's exactly her saying that. She's standing in front of Littlefinger like, did you know about Ramsay?
Oh, yeah.
Just completely deadpan. While Brienne's, drawing her sword. Well, she's not, but, her hand's on her sword,
is always in a state of either drawing or having drawn her sword. I mean, there's no time, there's no in-between with her.
Yeah.
I was expecting...
It's either on the hill or she's sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
When she's sleeping, her hand is also on the hilt.
On the hilt. I mean,
So yeah, Littlefinger. Trust him? No. Don't do it.
Not at all. No.
Doesn't matter if he can add his forces to yours.
And
Well,
the
he's gonna go do it
scene.
himself
True.
anyway. So
Oh yeah, you know what? They are going there to do the same thing,
they're natural allies.
Yeah.
even if they don't
Even
want the
if he's
same
a
thing.
shit.
Yeah, let's talk about that. He's a shit. He is manipulating an autistic boy for his own personal gain.
Yeah. And that scene, as much as I hate Littlefinger and want somebody to stab him, that scene was beautiful. Because he waltzes in and is very clearly manipulating the kid. You
Oh,
know,
everybody sees it.
everybody
Yeah,
sees
yeah.
it. But at this point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they see it.
Mm-hmm.
No, because the kid
He
has
put
the final say.
and he has the final say because Littlefinger was the one who put all the pieces in place for that to be the case.
Young Lord Aaron, someone who will do everything I ask, because he loves his Uncle Peter.
Yep.
Instead of bring him a falcon, now they're best friends.
Yeah, that's even more best friends. Yeah.
I mean, that's all he has to do is keep bringing the kid gifts.
Yeah, it's gonna go over well. So, before we, move on to other characters, I just have to talk about how the budding romance between Tormund Giantsbane and Brienne of Tarth. They locked eyes.
Oh my god!
Since this...
Guys, I hate to break it to you, she's mega gay.
Oh, yeah.
She's like mega gay.
Probably.
Is she?
Probably.
We don't know. No, she had the hots for Renly Baratheon.
My gay friend thinks that she's gay.
Well, no, she
could be bi.
She could be bi, but she had the hots for Renly Baratheon.
Yeah.
Who was gay?
Who was gay?
I mean, yes.
She doesn't have the greatest taste in men. But come on, the look on Tormund's face, like utter shock, is probably, the thought going through his head is like, my God, that's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Like, I knew as soon as he had the face, he's like, I'm gonna fuck that.
No, he didn't say fuck. He says, I will make love to her. Sweet, tender love. Like,
Do you know who we're talking about? He's
No.
never thought sweet, tender love in his life.
But this was the first time he did.
This is the first time he did.
Her effect was that powerful.
All right, I ship it. All right.
I will date her with respect.
Since Sunday, everywhere I look, there are like comics and cartoons and photoshops of those two together.
Oh, tons.
Their
face. Like, she doesn't know because this is probably the first time a man has looked at her like that.
Very true.
And she doesn't, like, you can see she's like, why are you, what is going on?
Why are you staring at me and chomping on a chicken leg?
I mean...
Fucking stop.
My favorite so far is replacing Jack and Rose on the bow of the Titanic with their faces.
I have to look that up. That needs...
Is she holding Tormund? I hope that's the case.
Oh my God, I forgot, because that would have been amazing.
She's got about a foot on him, so...
She does? That's an amazing couple.
Yeah, I'm it's gonna take a lot of walls breaking down for Tormund to get anywhere near her, you know.
I love the face she gives him at the dinner table. She's just like,
what are you doing? Stop.
Yeah.
Someone put a caption of like Ed watching the two of them looking at each other. It's like, it says Ed shipped them.
Oh, good God. Before we leave the North, because a lot of stuff went on this episode. This is a very filled episode, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Asha.
Asha.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting a little sick of Ramsay.
That's the point.
I know. I'm just not that I hate. I mean, obviously we've all hated him. I'm just like sick of what the writers are doing with him. It's like every time he's in a room alone with somebody, it's like, well, they're dead. Let's move on.
Yeah.
You know, like it's gotten to the point where it's like, as soon as Osha walked in, I'm like,
yeah, she's dead.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just move on from this.
It's like, she's looking over at the dagger, and I'm like, he's got like 5 more on him. Come on.
And it's like, we already hate him enough. Like, can we just stop feeding him kills here? Like, there's no reason for this. Like, we could go a whole episode. Like, that episode did not need him in it.
No, it just needed his letter.
Oh.
It really just needed
that's true.
Like, they're putting him in episodes needlessly, I think. Because we don't need to be reminded of how much of a jackass he is, because we know.
Yeah, I think this first episode really solidified that. If everything he did
Right.
last season didn't,
Yeah, I'm gonna kill my
Yeah,
father and
and I
feed
think
my,
that was enough.
Mhm.
Because what has he done since then?
He's
Besides obtain Rickon?
he's obtained Rickon, and
he wrote
he's
a letter, which we didn't need to see him to read the letter.
No.
no, and I mean, I guess it was a very short scene. So I
Yeah.
guess for fitting it in wise, I mean, I would have much rather have seen something about Bran or Arya, but I guess there's so much
Yeah.
going on there that they need more time.
Sure.
Let's go south. I always do this geographically, based in Westeros here.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps everything organized up here. Finally, Marjorie finally gets to see her brother. After
Yes.
a rousing inspirational speech by the High Sparrow about how he used to be a really good shoemaker.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Hmm.
I was very adamant last time that we saw the High Sparrow that I understood him finally.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave that speech.
You
And
don't
I'm
fucking
sitting there
understand a
like,
thing of it.
I don't understand a damn thing.
No one gets you. I don't get you.
I don't know.
Like, okay, great. You're a really good shoemaker. You had the definition of a hedonistic orgy. And
Yeah.
you just woke up that morning like, I'm going to leave home and rethink my life.
Yeah, it's like that's it? You had an orgy and you realized the secret to life? It's like, are you serious?
That's not how life works.
It must have been an amazing night.
A life-changing orgy.
Yeah. It's like I didn't even
turn to the Lord.
I left without my shoes. Like, you were a cobbler. You had plenty of them. Come on. But, yeah, that story there.
It's probably just part of the rhetoric he's weaving.
Mm-hmm.
I guess now I'm back at square one. I don't understand.
Well, Loras is not taking the torture well.
No.
Now my question is, are they being rougher on him than Marjorie, or are they just submitting him to the same thing? Some crazy lady reading at him, saying,
Yeah.
confess.
I feel like they probably are going harder on him because she is the queen, and like they can only do so much.
They don't give a damn about that.
Well, I feel like they have to be a little careful. The fucking Kingsguard are going to show up and just ruin their day.
I mean, the High Sparrow seems very convinced that nobody's going to make a move because he has everybody by the balls right now. Like, the threat...
They're literally planning to make a move.
Let's get to that. Cersei and Jaime finally, they try again to talk to the small council. It was just their uncle and crazy old lady from Highgarden. Sorry, I love Elena. I don't want to call her crazy, but she's crazy.
She's adamant.
She is adamant.
And fierce.
And probably, I say crazy. She's probably the only really sane person on this show.
Mm.
We've said that before.
She's the realest bitch around.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's for sure.
Tommen has been talking with the High Sparrow. Oh, that's news to all of us. Marjorie is going to make her confession walk in like a few days, and she's just like, no. Mm-mm.
That cannot
No
happen.
granddaughter of mine is doing that. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
None of that.
And Cersei agreed.
Yes, they're all on the same page right now. Which is, we may hate each other. We have a common enemy. Let's get rid of him and then go back to hating each other.
Yeah.
So, interesting plan. Kevin tells all of his forces to stand down because that wouldn't be breaking his order to the king. King can't get mad.
Oh.
It's like, you didn't order me not to stand down. We're going to let the Tyrell forces into King's Landing, and they are going to kill the Sparrows and free Marjorie and Loras and whoever else they got chained up.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this isn't going to go well.
No, they're probably going to end up getting Marjorie killed.
Or Loras. Or somebody.
Yeah, probably Loras.
Because that whole scene that the two of them had was very much like, Marjorie could stand up and survive this kind of thing, and Loras might not.
Loras is already broken.
He's already broken, exactly. He's probably inches away from folding. It's not looking good.
No, it's not. But, I don't know. I really like. I just see a lot of innocent people getting axed down in the middle of all this. Even
Yeah.
though, like, the Tyrells don't seem like that, hard ass of a marauding force, but it's a medieval army. They
Yeah.
gotta be realistic here.
I mean, yeah, there's going to be
Civilians are going to get murdered. Half the city's going to wind up getting sacked.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
I don't think it's going to end well because I mean, how are they not going to see this army coming? You know?
Well, they're going to see it coming, but the Tyrells are allies of the Lannisters, technically, on paper. So, nothing wrong with allied forces joining, like, the city guard or something.
Right, but like they're going to start marching on the Citadel.
Mm.
So like they're going to know like, "Oh, hey, there's the Tyrell army marching here. Maybe we should kill Loras because we can." You know?
wouldn't they be marching on the Sept? Aren't
Or
they
the
in the
Sept,
Sept?
sorry, the Sept. You know what I meant.
I mean, there's got
Yeah.
to be a bit more
Church
Sorry.
This is where
place.
Tyrion.
Church place.
This is where having Tyrion around would come in handy for them, because
Yeah.
they need a little
Yeah.
more subtlety. Like, yes, have the forces there, but under the guise of something completely different,
Right.
and then
Make it seem
sneak in.
anonymous.
Like send the small force in, sneak in, secure Marjorie and Loras, and then burn the place.
Then destroy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But no, I see Loras not surviving this.
Right. I mean, because they
Yeah.
could send in maybe 6 guys inside to secure the 2 of them. Like they
Mhm.
don't need much.
Send the mountain. That's all you need. Just send the mountain.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just get her back. Well, yeah, they could really just send the mountain. He could take care of all of it,
Yeah.
probably.
That would work.
That would definitely put him to the test. I mean, we haven't really seen him in his new form fight. I mean, we saw him smush
Actually,
a dude's.
try.
Yeah, we saw him smush a dude's head with like no effort at all.
And look at Jaime really threateningly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what he can really do, which I assume is more than he could do, which was not insignificant.
Does he
So-
even have a sword?
Yeah.
Still?
He
does,
yeah,
right?
he hasn't drawn it though.
Yeah, well, thank God.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. He still, I have a feeling, has a very large sword. Or access to one. Quick mention of Theon finally getting home. And Yara going all nuts on him, like, hey, you think you came here to take Father's throne? You go fuck yourself.
Excuse me.
Really, that's not what he just wanted to support her.
Yeah, which, like, is nice, I guess.
I don't know what he could exactly do, but it's a nice thought.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not the same Theon.
He's the only surviving son of Balon Greyjoy, so putting his vote in would definitely help.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a say in the matter.
I mean, they are one of the few places that I know of in the Game of Thrones universe that actually elect their rulers. So,
well,
It's not a like equal election though.
no,
right?
it's not like a democratic.
No.
But
No,
you
no,
know,
no. But yeah, they choose.
they are kind of. It's an election-ish.
yeah.
Yeah, ish. They put forward their names and let whoever decide.
Yeah.
Not sure how that works, actually. But we'll find out, hopefully. On to the east with Tyrion. Making nice. Trying to make nice.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn on this because, as Grey Worm says, you want to, the Masters are going to wind up using you after Tyrion made this lovely, idea of that we're going to use the Masters against themselves. Who's more clever? That's my question.
Yeah.
I mean, the Masters have more reach, obviously. Because they've been around this area for a lot longer than Tyrion does.
Yeah, I mean, I
so.
guess, that's the thing, the area. If it was
But-
Westeros, Tyrion would win, I would say. He would
Yeah,
outsmart
yeah.
anybody.
He's just not in his element.
But interesting proposal, You can keep slaves for the next few years, but after 7 years, no more slaves.
Yeah, I think 7 was too long.
That's what Lincoln did.
Yeah, that was so interesting. Hearing them talk about basing that on Lincoln trying to Abraham Lincoln trying to keep the United States together. Um,
I mean, to a degree, it was kind. It'd be kind of like if right now everyone, the government just said, "All right, cars, we're done with those. We're not using cars anymore. Everybody's got to get rid of your cars tomorrow." That would not work.
yeah,
If they
no.
said, "Let's phase out cars over the next 10 years,"
Let let
that would work.
let me put even that, people would probably have a very hard time grasping. Let me put this into perspective for you. New York City now will have a tax on bags in shopping in grocery stores.
Plastic bags, she means.
Yeah,
Plastic
plastic.
bags. Yeah, so like the bags they provide for you. That's not happening till October. I've had people bitch about it. And I'm like, dude, you have a couple months, buy some reusable bags. I mean, and people are like, no, it's ridiculous. It's not fair. I'm like, all right.
Honey, it's gonna be okay.
I know
Just
it's going to be okay.
get a
But
reusable
I'm trying to
bag,
put, yeah,
I'm
no,
not
bring
exactly.
talking
it
to you. I'm
with
talking
you.
to customers.
I know.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, honey, calm down.
Now,
Please.
I am married to a
So,
Canadian. 5 years ago, when I first, visited her home, they do that in the supermarkets there. A
yeah,
lot of them
yeah.
charge you for plastic bags. Some of them don't. Like they'll give you a few bags, but any extra they charge you. I forget what they is, a nickel, a quarter, something crazy.
Yeah, ours is a nickel. It'll
And,
be a nickel.
and the first time that happened, I was like, "Wow, that's weird." And someone's like, "What is?" I'm like, "Charge for plastic bags." That's just odd. I'm not used to that. I go, "Oh, you're an American, eh?" I'm like, "Yeah, eh?"
Yeah.
Like
That's great.
totally.
But yeah, I mean, it's something so small as that, even phasing out over a year or so,
Yeah.
people go crazy. So I mean,
But
this is an institution so deep in this culture.
This is a thousands of years cultural
Yeah,
institution.
yeah. So
We're not talking about
right,
plastic bags.
no,
I
we're
mean,
not. No, we're talking about people.
yeah, and that's obviously why Miss Missandei and Grey Worm were upset. But
Yeah,
Tyrion can't. I mean, he's not wrong where he said, like, I can either stop war, I can stop slavery.
I
can't
can't do
stop
both
both
at
Do
at
once.
the
both.
same time.
No, it doesn't work like that. And I know, like, Grey Worm's like, we will fight them and we will kill them all. And
No,
it's
you
like,
won't.
no, Grey Worm, you're not going to do that. That's not how you stop things from working.
How many Unsullied did she have? 8,000, I think it was.
Yeah.
Well, that number is less now.
Dwindling.
It's dwindling. She hasn't really replenished it. She only had like 100 Dothraki.
Yeah, and
So,
most of them weren't fighters.
say she's down to, I don't know, with the Sons of the Harpy and all this bullshit, say she's down to 7,000. Let's just say that they were that effective. You're dealing with 3 whole cities. 2 of which you have, fairly sacked before. One of
Yes.
which you haven't. One of which is very, 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 very rich.
Yeah, and I mean also, it's a natural reaction to want to just crush this,
Yeah.
especially from
You, they
Grey Worm.
literally tried that. I mean, they
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
tried
That's
to
what I
do
was
that.
gonna say. They,
Like, and it
yeah,
didn't work. So I don't know why he thinks,
they
like,
bounce back.
maybe if I just smash my head against the wall a little hard, it'll stop the slavery. But
He's
it,
angry.
it doesn't work like that. And you know what? He has every right to be angry. But at the
Yeah.
same time, what else could be done? I don't know. I don't think Danny can even come up with a better plan than this.
No,
No,
Tyrion's
this
trying to get
is
out of this with minimal loss of life.
Basically,
Because, yeah, the shit happens. So, and we talked about Daenerys. But now Dario knows that Jorah is infected with stone scale.
yes, yeah.
Yep. That cat's out of that particular bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder if Daenerys will find out soon.
Probably.
And he's like, "Don't worry, it didn't touch you." And I'm like, "That's not that much of a comfort."
Like, I'll bury my own weapons, thank you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
It's really
Don't
attached
touch
to
my
that
stuff.
dagger.
It is a
Really.
nice dagger.
Really attached.
Mm-hmm.
It's got boobies and everything.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm. You know what also has boobies? Daenerys when she walked out of the fire.
Yep. Boobs.
Mm-hmm.
And what the hell was with Daria's like little jab about like, haha, I can have sex with her and you cannot, old person, man.
He's such an
Fuck
asshole.
is-
That's
like,
just
really?
him. That's his personality.
It's like, is that relevant right now?
Mm-hmm.
He's just, he's annoying.
And Jorah had the perfect response, like, you really want to do this now?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, come on, man.
That's what I said. I was like, what the fuck? Can we not?
Although I did like Danny's plan better. Because their plan was, come on, let's get at it. We're going to, we're just going to take you and run and see how far we get.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. No, I have a better idea.
I got a lot better.
A lot better idea. Oh, look, all the great Khals, all the leaders. I'm going to set them on fire. I did not see that coming, by the way, but it was awesome.
No, I know. It was
Well,
amazing.
once she was standing between the pyres of flame, I was like, yep, burning time.
Yeah, as soon as for me, it was as soon as she touched it and her hand didn't burn. I'm like, oh, she's showing off that she's immune to fire,
Yeah.
just to like fuck with them, and it's just like toss.
Now, we were kind of curious, like, I think we were talking about this, Chrissy, like, did they preemptively, like, gas the place so it burnt better?
I don't know.
That
Those
thing took, like, a fucking, like, a match, man.
It was also made out of hay.
wood and hay and straw
yeah,
all over the
that's
place. Like, that is...
And I guess the gas from the flames, it's, they weren't
hot
just,
coals, like, that have been burning for a long friggin' time, or
Those
whatever.
weren't just coals. There had to be fuel in there.
Well, I'm not sure. Yeah.
The flames were burning too high for it to be coal.
Pitch. I mean, if they used pitch, that used to burn hot. Like,
Yeah.
some kind of oils, some kind of
Yeah,
special
'cause-
burning
Like
rocks.
lantern oil, yeah.
Well, they would use pitch in roofing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I mean, with it, like, I don't know what kind of level of technology that the Dothraki have here, so I'm going with combustible.
Some kind of lamp, like oil or something like that to
Mhm.
burn. But that's what I'm thinking happened. But I was just like, that took real quick.
Lots of fire.
Oh yeah.
And now Dan, but as the show creator said in their little post-episode blurb that they give, first time it's just a couple hundred people witnessed it, like in Jorah saw it that time. Now, tens of thousands, like the entirety of the Dothraki people that were present saw it.
Yeah. So I
Mhm.
think she's a god,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll do whatever the fuck she says.
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Marine. Hi.
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 I have a rampaging horde.
Hi.
And that's what's going to happen. Tyrion is going to do his best. A siege is going to happen. He's going to be panicking, and then Dany's going to show up with a horde of Dothraki.
Basically, that's kind of how I see it playing out.
And maybe a dragon.
Maybe.
Or- Let the other two out.
I mean, that's just one more way to cement her, like, god status in the eyes of her new people there.
If she just like rides a dragon.
If like, just Drogon shows up and she just, like, scritches his chin. It's like, who's your good boy? And everybody's watching in fear, like, ah!
Yeah. Well, that would be interesting.
Because, I mean, the Dothraki are going to naturally fear dragons, because dragons eat horses. And what do the Dothraki worship?
Horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's about that for that episode.
Yep.
It was really good.
It
Like-
was very good.
Easily the high point of the season so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they
think
usually
so.
they usually try to make that episode 9. Last season it was episode 8 and 9.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was usually like 10's the come down episode.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
the cool it off.
Yeah. We relax.
Or we're gonna drop a bomb on you.
Or that.
Yeah.
The wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Stabbing a certain snow.
So the next episode is called The Door. Ominous.
I wonder if that's in reference to.
I don't know, but here we go. I love their, like, bare synopses. Tyrion seeks a strange ally. Bran learns a great deal. It's like... You guys can see it right here on my screen. I'm quoting word for word. Bran learns a great deal. Brienne goes on a mission. Arya is given a chance to prove herself.
Yay!
I mean, the bits we see from the promo are Bran's standing in one of his, like, crazy visions while Mira's shaking him to wake him up. He's standing in front of the entirety of the White Army. Then turns around and there is a White Walker standing behind him. Who's kind of looking at him like he can see him.
I know, he totally can.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they have some form of magic. We're just not really sure on the extent of it.
I don't know what that's going to be, but...
They have some form of magic. Here, listen to me stating the obvious. I mean, one guy stood on the end of a pier, put his hands up, and like 10,000 bodies just reanimated.
Yeah.
Like... Yeah. Alright then.
Yeah, and I mean, Ed, that was what Ed, I think that was this episode, Ed was saying, it's like, you can't just take the wildlings, you know what's coming, you can't just leave.
Yeah. But, I mean...
Yeah.
Sorry, Ed, we love you, but...
At this point, I think John's more retake the North, consolidate our forces, and use the entirety of the Northern armies to defend, you know, against the White Walkers.
I mean, he was a little reluctant.
Harvest obsidian.
Yes.
Literally need it.
Yes, exactly. You really need it.
Yeah. I mean, John was, like, hesitant to fight anymore. Like, he didn't want to do any of that, and, you know.
Well, what was he gonna do?
I know.
Go south and live his life as a farmer?
I mean, it's... He didn't want... You know, he just got murdered. I'm pretty sure he needed, like, a vacation.
Well, luckily, Rickon's peril is spurring him into action.
Yeah, because
And also
Rickon's...
the beautiful things that Ramsey said about his sister, so that was good.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's good. He's set.
Yeah.
Speaking of being set, we are with this episode. Ye who drank an energy drink. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest.
I have to do
Bouncing off the walls.
I have to do the Shield finale with her in 10 minutes, so I'm afraid.
Yeah, be very afraid.
John, where can they find you?
Sitting very still at no more on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at Philodrin, also sitting relatively still. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Almost forgot how to say the word podcast. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a lovely night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Sally and Darius.
Thank you, guys. I just realized I'm probably going to crash in the middle of once.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
That won't be very good.